this meeting to order with a moment of silence, the prayer and the pledge of allegiance. Father, we thank you for each mind and heart that fills this presence of this room. Strengthen our confidence in who you have made us to be. Set us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently. For only you truly know what we are set out to accomplish today. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of written minutes. Tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held July 9, 2020.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Any guests concerning county business? None.
Next item is a proclamation for the pretrial probation and parole supervision week.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Did we have an executive session?
Oh, you have to read
You
the
gotta do
proclamation.
the proclamation?
Oh,
Whoops.
this is gonna be good. Pretrial probation and parole supervision week, July 19th to 25th, 2020. Whereas community correction is an essential part of the justice system, and whereas community correction professionals uphold the law with dignity, while recognizing the right of the public to be safeguarded from criminal activity. Whereas community corrections professionals are responsible for supervising adult and juvenile offenders in the community. And whereas community correction professionals are trained professionals who provide services and referrals for offenders, and whereas community correction professionals work in partnership with community agencies and groups, and whereas community correction professionals promote prevention, intervention, and advocacy, and whereas community correction professionals provide services, support, and protection for victims, and whereas community correction professionals advocate community and restorative justice, and whereas community correction professionals are a true force for positive change in their communities. Now therefore be it resolved that the Carbon County Board of Commissioners be hereby proclaimed the week of July 19th to the 25th, 2020 as pretrial probation and parole supervisor week, adopted by the Carbon County Board of Commissioners this 16th day of July 20th, 2020. Would you like this? Thank you very much.
Just want to thank the commissioners
Shake
for,
your hand.
yeah, you got it. On behalf of Jimmy Dodson and adult probation, and also about two of my officers with me today, I want to thank the commissioners for this proclamation, and also I want to thank the commissioners for the ongoing support you guys have given me up to this point during this new tenure, and look forward to working with you guys as we move forward.
And I think with our side of the coin, we see like, I mean, we even have this on there, what you've been doing for getting us grants and moving us in a better direction. And I said to you and your staff, I mean, I think we're very lucky that we have all of you.
Yeah, I'm very proud of my staff,
Yeah.
and very proud of all the stuff we're doing in the community. So,
Rick, there's no question we understand the important element and role that you all play in our corrections process here, and it is greatly appreciated. And this is just a small way to demonstrate the value that we know you and your officers bring to the community and what we're trying to do in the world of corrections. So thank you so much.
yep, thank you.
Yep.
Yep.
No,
Thank you.
We had no executive. Report of an executive session, none held.
Okay, the department report, budget transfers.
Move to approve.
Second,
Mr. Honor?
yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Supplemental appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Expenditures, approval of check numbers 214358 through 214549 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $1,313,830.60.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
The treasurer's report?
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
The personnel report?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. Adult probation. For approval and execution, the submission of a grant application for funding from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for Carbon County's Intermediate Punishment Program. The grant will fund projects such as one adult probation officer, purchase of drug testing supplies, pay for treatment of offenders who are not eligible for medical assistance. The project period is July 1, 2020 through June 30th, 2021. Funding is $82,725, but of course this is subject to the 5-month budgeting enacted by the legislature.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
County buildings, HVAC repairs, administration building, for ratification of proposals submitted by Johnson Controls Incorporated of Allentown, Pennsylvania, to the repair of the engine for the HVAC Medisys system for the county administration building at a cost of $6,783.62.
Move to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
The courts, Contact Wireless for approval and execution. The request received from the Domestic Relations Office to renew the agreement with Contact Wireless of Albuquerque, New Mexico for Text Page Pro messaging program that would enable to the enforcement officers allowing increased communication with clients to increase support collections. The monthly service for 3 dedicated phone and text lines at a total cost of $99.84 per month, prepaid for 12 months. This would be effective August 1, 2020, and terminated July 31st, 2021.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Guyette for ratification. Modification to the agreement number 20310-R with Guyette Communications of Plymouth, Pennsylvania, to install equipment to the alternate witness stand for courtroom number 1 at a total cost of $1,643. The pricing includes installation, programming, operator instruction costs, and 1-year warranty. This is COVID-19 related.
Move to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Emergency Management, Local Emergency Planning Committee appointment. Donna McGarry of Palmerton Borough.
Move to appoint.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Human Services for approval and execution. The Human Services non-block grant plan for the year 2020 through 2021 state fiscal year for Carbon County's HSDF, HAP, and drug and alcohol programs.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Planning and Development for adoption and execution. Adoption of the 4-factor analysis and limited English proficiency plan and certification of completion required for the fiscal year 2020 Community Development Block Grant and the 2020 Community Development Block Grant CDBG CV application and Emergency Solutions Grant Program.
Move to adopt and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Parking lots. For approval, acceptance of a quote from United Public Safety of Fort Washington, Pennsylvania, for the purchase of 3 Site Pro handheld enforcement devices under CoStar's contract 33-15. The quote covers hardware, data plan, warranty, licensing, software support, training, cloud setup, and out-of-state DMV research. Year 1, $22,383.64. Year 2, $11,483.64, and Year 3, $11,483.64.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Teamsters for ratification. Termination of hazard pay for Teamsters Local 773, correctional officers and sergeants for any work performed after July 20th, 2020.
Move to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Solicitors report.
Thank you. Communications 911 for approval and execution. Request received from 911 Director to approve non-disclosure agreement with AT&T for Carbon County to receive text to 911 from AT&T customers, which is approved through the statewide interconnectivity project for Carbon County.
Move to approve and execute.
And I will second, have a little discussion to explain what this is for. This is for 911 sender, that they can, that a person that if they're calling in for an emergency, they can text, and if somebody could be in a situation that maybe somebody broke into their house and they don't want to be on the phone, that somebody would hear them, or they could be out in the woods somewhere where when you call, a phone your phone line, your phone connection gets cut off. So if they would text, it could keep repeating to them, and it would get to the 911 sender. So I just want to, I always commend Mark Nalesnik, and Gary Williams, I never commend him much for the job that he's doing, but this is something that's really important for the safety of people, reporting a crime or just needing help somewhere. So that's, I don't know if you had anything else.
No comment on it.
Okay.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mock Lake Park for consideration, an extension of the restriction of swimming at Mock Lake Park to county residents and season pass holders only, as previously established under Resolution 20024.
Move to approve or extend.
And I will second on discussion also.
Well, till what date?
It will be through 7 September, which would be Labor Day.
And there's a second on that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just want to, we've gotten a lot of correspondence through this, through this and phone calls. And I just want to say, for weeks, we have been debating over Mock Lake Park. One of the snags is loss of revenue. But loss of revenue does not outweigh the safety of the residents of Carbon County. As many have seen, area parks are overwhelmed with garbage and disrespect for our countryside. I certainly appreciate the emails from county residents and the recommendation from the Parks Board. But my weekly comment that I always have, Mock Chunk Lake is not an overflow parking lot for area state park. Carbon County residents in general have been very respectful in the COVID-19 pandemic, keeping our numbers low. That respect should be returned by passing this well-deserved motion for a safe recreation area for Carbon County residents. I don't know if anybody got the idea of which way I was going to vote on this, but I stand firm. Mock Chunk Lake is not an overflow parking lot for area state parks. Thank you.
I would simply add to that to clarify the extension. The extension will include the beach access. And that is for those county residents who pay for admission to swim and have beach access. For those who are camping at Mock Chunk Lake Park, season pass holders, and those individuals who rent the pavilion or are participating in activities at the pavilion. And again, the expectation is that'll last through 7 September, Labor Day, and in further business, I'll have an additional motion in regards to Mock Chunk Lake Park.
Okay. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Further business?
Yeah, I have one motion, and that motion is for the county, the Board of Commissioners, to provide the resources so that the Sheriff's Department can provide additional human resources, personnel at Mock Chunk Lake Park on Saturdays and Sundays and holidays through the extension period of this resolution.
I will second that.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioners report.
The only thing, I don't know if I should just give a report or maybe answer some of the other motions that we made. With the parking lot, that, agreement that we have made here, this is making it easier for the parking lot. They're gonna have guns, they'll be able to go behind the cars, it'll be able to print tickets out right there, and with this one here, it's actually that we will be able to reach out-of-state license plates, because a lot of our people that are coming here that would be ticketed normally, would probably, the majority of them would be out of state, and if we only had an in-state system, we'd probably lose out on probably 3/4 of the revenue that we were getting in. And like I said, it's something that we're putting in here, and I think there's, some, optimism towards it, and it is gonna be a good thing. I mean, it's gonna make it a little bit easier for us, and hopefully on the upside, we'll be able to get more revenue in out of tickets, so. And I don't know if there was one other one, like with Rick. I mean, I can't commend Rick enough in adult probation. I mean, this motion where he got this, he's applying for this money for us. I mean, these are the reasons why taxes don't keep going up, because we're getting money through grants and people that work like that. So again, Rick, thank you very much. And I think I did cover that, that modifications for the system here, that is actually like a new, panels, and circuit boards for in the air conditioning system here, because we had an air conditioning system that, you could probably, I think in, Ellie's room, you could, Dietz and Watson could have hung meat. You know, it just wasn't distributing the cold air where it was supposed to be going. And I don't think there was nothing, the Johnson controls, what else was there? Just so we don't have any more questions. I'm sure you're gonna have questions. But, no, I think the block grants, and I think that's about it. And I said, I just wanna go back to that Mock Jump Park thing again. I mean, we've been doing this, to help the residents of Carbon County, and we do actually have, there's 2 stores there that are run by a local person, and I'd appreciate if when the people do go to there, that they would patronize them 2 stands, they're just like a business, like if you go to the hardware store or somebody else within the county, so I'd appreciate if you, when they go there and be safe. And back to it again, it has been changed with the governor, but I've been saying it all along, green is not go. There were still restrictions on it, you were supposed to wear masks, everybody's looking at it like, oh my God, we gotta wear masks now. No, you should have been wearing masks. So hopefully if we do that, we can cut down that we don't have to go back to where we were of just taking takeout. So I hope everybody takes care and be safe. Thank you.
Mr. Lukasevich.
So in regard to the parking and the kiosks and the equipment, again, our target date is the beginning of September. We do have some critical pieces to finish up, to include the ordinance, and probably the one significant point of failure if we don't get it right, and that is the signage that we're working on to ensure that we're communicating effectively to those who want to park in the county positions or parking locations. I want to talk about yesterday at 4:30, the county launched its Carbon County Block Grant Portal at carboncounty.com. So I would ask any organization, entity, tourism, small business under 100, advocacy entities for small business, broadband, and others who meet the guidelines from DCED in regards to the COVID-19 relief county block grant program to go to the carboncounty.com website, into the portal, and begin the application process. Multitude of information is available there, the organizational structure, the overall application process, DCED guidelines, of course, the applications based upon the 5 categories that will be utilized. And in the coming weeks, as those applications come in, there is a page set up for transparency for the public to access also. In regards to the applicants, I want to emphasize, next Friday, 24th of July at 10 a.m., live streaming on the Carbon County Commission's Facebook page will be a question and answer hour for applicants. Mr. Jeff Weiss and Rhonda, who leads the Block Grant Administration Group, or what we call the BCAG, will be here live, utilizing chat and phone-in opportunities for applicants to get clarifications on some of the questions that they might have about certain eligibility requirements, documentation issues like that. If there is any problem with downloading the applications, because you must download them from the website onto your computer, not your smart device, onto your computer, and fill it in using Adobe Reader, Adobe Acrobat. If you have any problems with the download or the application process, 570-325-3611, and we'll walk you through the process of filling that document in and ensuring that you have a complete application as it moves forward. Again, from yesterday at 4:30 through midnight on the 31st of August, we will be accepting our applications. Thank you, that's all I have.
And I just want to say one thing about that, like Chris and Rhonda and Jeff have been working on this for a couple weeks already with the applications. And when you have something new, there probably will be a snag somewhere.
Absolutely. Yep.
So don't get frustrated, call.
Yep.
Our function is here. I mean, we never hardly get opportunities to help the community that we can make the determination where the money goes. And we're gonna do that. Meeting adjourned.
Right.
I call the meeting of the Carbon County Retirement Board to order.
Thank you, Commissioner Arner. First, we'll seek an motion for the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held June 18th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Svercek, yes. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Any guests concerning retirement board business? Hearing none. There was not any executive sessions to report on. Next will be ratifying the warrant checks number 40586 to 40606 and the direct deposit number 7008084 to 7008458 for the month of June.
So moved. Second.
No, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Svercek, yes. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
And the June retirement activity report is in there as well. And we had 4 retirement refunds, note it there, along with 1 disability retirement that was approved. And the portfolio value as of June 30th was $74,687,070. Any questions on that? Okay. Any correspondence? I do not have any. Solicitor's report?
Nothing additional.
Investment managers report, Sarah Wilson will be here in August, at the August meeting. And she did also provide the portfolio evaluation as of 7/14. Now, I think it's important to point out the valuation from June 30th, $74,687,070. And the evaluation from a few days ago was $78,781,978. So I think we're doing good considering the turbulence in the market. And under the OCIO scenario as well, I think is helping us too. We're just about fully in compliance with the targets of our allocations, and they're constantly keeping an eye on that. Any questions on the portfolio evaluation? Okay. Under further business, I just wanted to provide a brief update on what I call the buyback project for the furloughed workers who opted to buy back their pension time while they were furloughed. We had 17 total people that opted to do that. 15 of the 17 have already committed with 2, just waiting on 2 more, and the payroll deduction payback we'll start with the payroll, next payroll of July 31st. The other update is on the retirees going to the mandated direct deposit. We've got about 30% back so far, and if need be, we will contact them again about that. We've only had a few questions, about 3 call-ins, and they were mainly about the direct deposit form, so they were easily answered. I did not have any complaints or gripes. I don't know if Commissioner Osstein received any or not, or if you gentlemen received any.
So Mark, what will occur if you don't hear back from them and we hit the expiration date for them to have direct deposit set up?
Well, we didn't address that, but I'm hoping that they will comply. I don't know how we can force them to comply, but it was voted on and approved, and that we're doing that, so I'm open for suggestions if we got to that point, of course.
I mean, are checks withheld or held here
Well,
until?
In the letter that I did to the retirees where it was affected,
Right.
we did put down that their urgency to cooperate was important, so it would not jeopardize their retirement payment for September. So I'm hoping that will be sufficient to have them to act.
Well, I would say as a preventative measure, maybe offline, we have a conversation with the solicitor and see
Sure.
what actions can be taken to ensure compliance, or what actions we'll have to take once it goes into effect, that we're no longer issuing paper checks.
Sure, right, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Anything else for further business? That's all I have.
Nothing else, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Any questions from the media?
Just to clarify, so I know the text to 911 thing, that's not in place yet, right? There's
No,
still-
he,
it's been in the
it-
process, I know.
This is for them to send all the forms in, the applications, and he's expecting probably by the first week of September, everything should be in place. I mean, he's hoping,
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it is.
And then the deadline for the COVID block grants, it's August 31st, you said, right?
July 31st.
July.
July.
July
Okay.
31st
July 31st.
for the application.
And then the only other thing I have, just with the, I mean, is there any confusion on how commissioners with like the governor's latest orders? Because I know he said that like counties are gonna be responsible, and now he's doing things statewide again, so.
I don't know, like, I think we've been running business as it's been, like some of the changes, like where they went to that they're going back to, you know, the big thing was, I guess, going back to 25%, you know, the restaurants having in there. But all the other stuff, I mean, we've been requiring masks, and, I mean, that's been a county-wide thing, or even if you go into our building, nothing really changed for us. And like I said, I think it's one of those things that people have to realize that, I mean, states that sort of like denied that there was anything to this are the ones that are really struggling right now, and we could get to that. I mean, I don't want to get back to that. I mean, I don't want to get back that we're having back the takeout. I mean, we should be moving forward all the time, and like I said, if we're safe on what we've been doing for months, you know, and I said, one of the things that I said, everybody thought when we went green, it was gold, and it's not. There were still requirements in it. So I think at the county level, we really haven't changed much of anything, you know.
For the businesses.
Right. Yeah, I think, Alyssa, you know, again, just literally 2 or 3 days ago, it seems like the governor did clearly put out that the county would somehow be involved in the process of any rollback. I think he may have been really implying to the red, yellow, green, but nonetheless, I think for us, the thought was there would be a little bit more interaction and communication as these things are rolled out here. And again, it seemed like we rolled back to one size fits all 67 counties. Now, they have to be considered, but again, you know, we have been left out of that process to be involved and to more effectively communicate the concerns. Talked to Carbon County Economic Development Corporation last night, you know, very concerned that we've taken 2 or 3 steps forward and probably at least as many, if not just one step backwards. And that's concerning for the struggling businesses.
think that was all I had.
I have one other thing that would be a nice story for you. I'm presuming you pronounce that guy Eddie. That has to do with the courts. And there is, if you took notice, that's like a witness stand, a new design and a system for in there. And we have made changes to the courtroom, okay? Greg, is it on the 3rd, you're gonna start jury trials?
That's right.
On the 3rd, we're gonna have jury trials, and if you would go over in courtroom 1, we've actually removed pews and moved them back, and the jurors are spread out over the whole thing. There's gonna be plexiglass for the witness, so it's set up there a little bit different, and we're trying to keep the courts going. I mean, we can't stop, so that might be something to go over there and just, take a picture of to see what the courts are actually doing. I mean, and people think that we stop. The county does not stop anything. I mean, we have our aging, we have everything to go. And I think a lot of people come in and they think that things that boroughs and townships do, we do. We're not. They're thinking like we're in charge of the police. We're not in charge of the police for a town or a township, but all of our county business with the aging and courts and elections, this keeps going every day. We don't stop. We can't take time off. And that's about all I had from that.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go over to the.
Yeah, it's
house
pretty,
and
I don't know if you're
check it out.
going over, Greg.
I'll talk to Alyssa afterwards.
Okay. I know you don't want to be interviewed, but I figured I'd put you in that spot. You can thank me later, Greg.
Rocky said all the details.
I guess the meeting is done.
Yep.
You do half bad read, man. You got
Yeah, I know.
sort of figure out what
I'm
you're
gonna have to
talking
get, I'm
about.
gonna have to look for contacts. I wonder if the contacts fogged up.
I don't know.